Ladies and gentlemen, it has been over 9 months since I originally made this video that kickstarted the Wua tribalism on my channel, and my first video calling out another, space of Wua creators and their hypocrisy, right? Over 9 months ago, whatever the fuck that podcast was called, I don't remember, it was the Gacha cast, right? Had Ethan, it had Gacha Smack, it had Saint Taz, it had Genazad, it had Tectone, it had all those names. I, without fear, made a video, even though I was small as fucking shit at the time, calling out the bullshit double standards when I watched their Gacha cast, right? For those who don't know what was going on back then, it was the Annie. These people were hyping up the Annie, saying it's all about the content, when the Annie, keep in mind, had some of the lowest content among all of Wua's patches, talking about the poll count and the rewards, when in reality it barely scraped by to be slightly more than the average patch, and that's including the polling event, the night market, which locked limited polls behind it, right? And these people, for how hard they went on HSR's Annie, they showed no remorse, and there's no issue with that if you think that way. However, the sheer double standard in the way they treated Wua and tried to constantly deflect and blame Hoyoverse for the faults of this game made no fucking sense to me, to the point where I got in all that drama. After that, I made a crash out video just giving my full fucking thoughts. I had fucking Captain Cabinets in my fucking comments section saying some bullshit like, "Quit the game! Why are you complaining about predatory practices that we don't actually hold a real standard to in this game? Clearly you're a fucking tourist, just quit the game," right? Yes, I still remember all of this shit. So, with that being said, over 9 months later, we are now in the exact same case scenario. Now, Tectone doesn't really make gacha content anymore. He's actually going through some wild IRL shit from what I've seen on Twitter. Holy shit, right? But a lot of other of the Tectone disciples are still on this platform. They're still thriving, right? And they are trying to still defend this spending event and deflect its actual criticism to blaming the Hoyo games for its existence. Like, oh my fucking god, right? So, one of the main ones here is Saint Taz. Now, don't be fooled by the thumbnail of his video recently talking about the spending event. 90% of it isn't actually criticizing Kuro. It's once again instead deflecting the issue and making it a Hoyo is bad thing, and so Kuro followed Hoyo because they're the gacha standard. Keep in mind, they have been doing PGR spending events for fucking years. Okay, PGR has already been, this idiot isn't even a Kuro bot, he is strictly a Wua bot. His actual knowledge does not surpass this game alone. He fucking blows at anything else he talks about, right? So Saint Taz, completely baiting his audience, trying to make it look like he's actually criticizing Kuro for once, instead changes the entire video to mainly criticize Hoyo and blame them for this entire fiasco, right? You have Blazon. Oh my fucking goodness. If this guy, dude, if Kuro's cock was out in public, he'd be riding it 24/7. He gets mad at other people for actually criticizing this game's solo rovering story. I mean, come on. He just recently made a video comparing the Archer spending Lycone event to the $250 of this one new event, saying it ain't the same, right? Are we actually this stupid? Listen, I am literally someone who stood on the fact that the Archer Lycone, I didn't like that bullshit. okay? They didn't announce it until legit a few weeks before the 3.4 patch, which meant a lot of people had not saved up 200 pulls to take advantage of his Lycone. However, luckily, Archer is one of the characters in the game who gets the least of a jump from getting his signature Lycone, meaning he can use the free Herda one completely fine. He cares more about his teammate horizontal investment than he does about his own vertical investment. HSR did this on purpose because they don't want people to make the collab characters way too strong, because then when the banners are gone, nobody can get a character that strong anymore, right? So he made a comparison comparing these two, and basically, instead of just trying to criticize or just fully say, you know, this spending event sucks, needs to bring up and deflect and blame Hoyo, comparing waves every single fucking time, because they can never just fully take a hit. They always gotta bring something else down with them to feel better about the game they play, instead of just admitting, yeah, my game is getting more fucking predatory, and all these years I've been defending it for being for the player have been for absolutely fucking nothing, right? You have fucking, what's his name, Glaive Keo, the AI guy. This guy went to Twitter, made a post saying, I don't understand why people care about this shit at all. This spending event sucks. The rewards are mid. Yet he has a video from like 2 months ago, 1 or 2 months ago, saying that 3.7 is the greediest Honkai Star Rail patch of all time because it had like a $250, $300 bow skin. Keep in mind, the current WUA spending event also has an exclusive accessory for Rover locked at a fucking steep $250, right? These people are complete fucking hypocrites, and I have no clue how over 9 months later absolutely nothing has changed on the community's outlook of these creators, right? They are not WUA creators, and this is something I want to stress so badly, right? This is a mistake I made over 9 months ago when I did my Hypocrisy video. Most of these creators that act like this, that mainly do the drama content, that mainly do the comparisons between games, these people, right, they are not WUA creators. They barely play the game. They're barely even above average at the game, if that. Most of the time, though, they don't even know what they're talking about when it comes to this game. I mean, a lot of people call me a Hoyo shill, and I probably play this game more actively than a majority of these WUA CCs that just use WUA's name to slander other gacha games, right? Like, I have been playing this shit religiously for a long ass time now, especially since the Annie, right? So, all of this is to say, and I want to come back to this, I don't give a shit about spending events. I am standing on this. I don't care, okay? Obviously, I'd prefer to get way better rewards, get these rewards for free-to-play players. That would be the best case scenario. Spending events are 100% completely expected in a gacha game, right? If you think your game is going to be the messiah of gacha and they're going to completely revolutionize the space, you are fucking slow, okay? They only care about making as much money as possible, and that's why in the first place they put a gacha system in the game, right? Please, everybody needs to fucking understand this at this point. Silver Palace, I am so excited for that game to release. It is so promising. It might genuinely be my favorite gacha of all time. They only added gacha to that shit for the predatory practices and how much more money it makes as compared to selling a base game, okay? That's literally the only reason that bullshit exists. The same applies here. You can make an argument that WUA is better for the free-to-play player as compared to maybe some other Hoyo titles. However, that's fucking it, right? That's it. When it comes to predatory practices, trying to monetize shit as much as possible, this game isn't any different as compared to the others, and if anything, it has its own faults where it falls short. For example, this new substat reroller is completely stuck to being purchasable with Coral or with real money through packs, right? That shit is incredibly predatory. On top of this, a spending event. You want to know what's crazy? For how much people fucking slander Genshin, and it's my least favorite gacha game out of these mainstream ones, Genshin has never had a spending event once in the history of their game, right? So all of this is to say, stop being slow. Stop being copious when it comes to your hopes for a gacha game. I don't care if it's your favorite gacha, that's completely fine. However, retain realistic expectations instead of trying to push your bullshit hopium onto everybody else and then getting mad that it doesn't age well. Because the reality is, all these gacha games just want what's in your fucking pocket, okay? I don't care about spending events. I don't care about this WUA spending event. Well, actually, I do. I wish it was like $50 for the SK, because then I'd be able to get my S2 SK and I'd top up. But it's $150, right? I don't care. The reason I care and the reason I'm making a video about this is because other people are so fucking hypocritical in this space, so filled with double standards, because all they care about is pushing an agenda instead of actually being informative to their audience and fucking honest. Why is it so hard to find real fucking honesty in this gacha space? You know what? I'm just gonna say it. It's mainly the WUA CC space, okay? It is 100% mainly the WUA CC space that has such tribalistic CCs who it feels like it would take a rip apart of their soul if they ever decided to actually fully blame this game for something without deflecting the criticism, right? It is absolutely fucking embarrassing. Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. This is a reenactment, right? History repeating itself after only about 9.5 months with this hypocrisy shit. Dude, this WUA CC space has some of the most annoying and tribalistic gacha CCs in the entirety of the fucking space. I can't believe a game this good has to deal with people seeing some of these content creators the first thing they search up. Oh my fucking goodness, right? Love you all. Hope you have a great day. Hope you have a great night. Peace out.